You and me is glorious sublime beings. These is just two female nothings.
Jethro, we has promised to give up all that kind of thinking.
That's a rap. That's a real rap.
Boy, I think you better come on outside.
I'll take him to the woodshed and beat the sublimeness out of him.
Granny, sit down.
Hey, if that little coolie lays one finger on my radiance, I'll have her tied to a kabuki and dragged right on through the Zen.
Jethro, come on outside. It'll be good for your headache.
Headache? I ain't got no headache.
Just keep messing with Granny.
Paragraph 6. Each girl's salary shall be linked to the cost of living index.
I'm through. I'll have to close the bank.
Paragraph 7. No girl shall receive less than the federal minimum hourly wage.
That does it. I'm wiped out.
Paragraph 8.
Don't bother to read anymore. I'm not going to sign that contract.
You signed it yesterday.
I did?
In the presence of 12 witnesses.
Well, I'll take you to court and break it.
Well, you may certainly try, but let me read you paragraph 8. Paragraph 8. In case of litigation, all legal costs will be paid by Mr. Drysdale.
Let's hear paragraph 9.
Paragraph 9. Mr. Drysdale will pay for repairs to Helen Thompson's automobile.
That's ridiculous. That's extortion. Pay your own garage bills.
But you were the one that demolished my car.
I never touched it.
You ordered your bodyguard, that karate expert, to demolish it.
Me?
She's right, Chief. I remember vividly we were staging a peaceful demonstration in front of the bank.
My car! He demolished it!
Okay, so he dented your car.
Dented it?
Here's a couple of bucks. Have it fixed.
Chief, Helen's car was broken in two by that monster.
It was probably ready to fall apart anyway. Come in. Bonsai, am I glad to see you. These two bullies are trying to force me to honor an illegal contract. Take it away from them.
Don't get violent. Here.
Come on, Miss Hathaway, quickly.
You'll regret this, Chief.
Nice work, Bonsai. Now let's have the contract.
As soon as we settle business.
What business?
Please to sit down and we talk.
I don't have time to talk. I'm a busy man.
Please, very important we talk.
I told you I'm too busy.
Please.
Let's talk. What can I do for you, Bonsai?
You can fly 3 new girls from Japan for my household.
Well, you already have 3 girls. There's Miko and the other 2. They're wonderful.
No longer wonderful. Spoiled by woman's lib. Miko already leave.
Well, it's not my fault.
I think so. You hire Banzai to frighten your woman. Banzai bring his woman. They learn from your woman. Your fault. You pay for new woman.
Now, look, if anybody's going to do any paying around here, it's you.
Me? What for?
Well, you broke my coffee table. That's number 1. You broke Helen's car. That's number 2. You broke the Clampetts bench. That's number 3.
You like to be number 4?
Now, look, don't try to intimidate me. I'm not flying 3 girls from Japan, and that is that.
Perhaps if there were enough of us, we could overpower Bonsai and take our contract away from him.
Miss Hathaway, make arrangements to fly 3 girls from Japan right away.
All right, all you untouchables, out of the kitchen. My exalted radiance is going to have breakfast.
You gonna cook your own victuals?
Are you kidding? I got my own personal cook and servant. Hey, Miko, chop, chop.
Miko is here?
Well, yeah, I was sitting out front. She come up and said she done left Bonsai. Could she come back here?
Why would she want to do that?
Why else? Like they says in Japan, she rubs me.
Oh, Jethro, you ready to behave yourself?
I'll tell you what I'm ready to do. I'm ready to take Miko and run away from home. Can I have my 50 cents allowance in advance?
You won't need it, boy. Miko might run from you, but not with you.
Are you kidding? That little Japanese cherry blossom is head over heels crazy mad for me. Like I said before, she rubs me.
I got news for you. She don't even like you.
Forget? I'm gonna have to hear that from her own ruby ribs.
Might be a good idea.
Don't you worry. Ellie and me had trouble with our men folks, too, but they come around. And so will Bonsai.
I hope Granny-san is right. Banzai is very unhappy with Miko.
Well, you just stay here until he changes his tune.
Thank you so very much.
Is Jethro ready to behave himself?
He says he's ready to run away from home.
That's even better. I'll go pack his bag.
Watch it, lowly Occidental female. You was mean-mouthing the radiant light of the Orient.
Jethro.
You watch it too, Round Eyes.
Jed, shall we take him to the woodshed and fan his radiant britches?
Please, please. Miko caused too much trouble between Jethro-san and honorable family. I am sorry. I will go.
Oh, sit down, Miko. You didn't cause no trouble. He's always like that.
Miss Mako, you Yamaha with Jethro-san, and we with ride for luxury.
On 50 cents a week?
Will you please leave me and my Japanese sweetheart alone?
Jethro-san, I am not your Japanese sweetheart.
Are you telling me you ain't Japanese?
I am Japanese, but not your sweetheart.
Is that plain enough, stupid sand?
Greetings, Ellie.
Howdy, Miss Jane. Say hello to Oscar.
Hi there, little fella. Ellie Mae, we girls at the bank need Granny's help.
What's the trouble?
Well, Bonsai has seized our contract and won't give it back to us.
Oh, Granny'll make you do it. She'll whomp him again.
That's what I wanted to check with you. Granny did vanquish Bonsai, didn't she?
Yeah, he got her mad. There used to be another iron bench just like this one right yonder. Well, that rascal hauled off and hit it with his bare hand and just busted it all to pieces.
What a terrible thing to do.
That's what Granny said. Then she lit into him and turned him every way but loose. Who are you talking about, Ellie? Oh, Bonsai. Is that the goomer that busted our bench?
And you vanquished him, Granny.
Oh, I don't know about that. But I whooped the tar out of him.
Well, now he's taken our contract away from us. Would you make him give it back?
Of course I will. Where is he?
At the bank?
Let's go.
Hey, where are y'all going?
To the bank?
Hey, can I catch a lift?
Certainly, hop in. Where are you going?
Don't ask him, just let him go. Good luck. Whose car is this, Miss Jane?
It's Helen's. Bonsai broke it just the way he did your bench.
Where is that junk maker?
In Mr. Drysdale's office.
I'll learn him to go around busting up people's furniture and automobiles.
Atta girl, Granny.
Thanks for the lift, Miss Jane.
Jethro? Where are you going?
I'm running away from home.
Running away from home? Why?
That family of weed benders I've been living with won't let me live the kind of life I'm entitled to.
And just what kind of life is that?
One of sublime happiness as a member of the magnificent, exalted Oriental nobility.
And, just where do you plan to find that kind of life? Your exalted magnificence.
Well, I thought I'd try the YMCA.
I don't know how sublime that will be.
Well, I can't be too choosy when my allowance is only 50 cents a week.
Jethro, take my advice and go back home.
To them rubes and hay shakers? Never.
Well, it's better than starving.
I'll get along. I got all the necessities of life right here.
Such as?
4 ham hocks, a side of fat back, 2 pot roast, and a turkey.
Jethro, how long do you think that will last?
Well, it'll take me through the rest of the day.
I done told you for the last time, Mr. Bonsai.
Oh!
Now, are you ready to do as I say?
Oh, yes, honorable grandson.
Now, you get down front and give Miss Jane her contract.
With great haste.
And while you're down there, you fix Miss Helen's car that you busted.
Oh, so sorry, but Banzai not mechanic.
Are you gonna give me some more of your sass?
Oh, no. Banzai become instant mechanic.
Thank
you, Granny.
Oh, you're welcome, honey. All it takes to handle men is a little feminine charm.
Are they gone?
Yes.
I forgot that Granny can handle bonsai. Cancel the plane reservations for those Japanese girls.
But, Mr. Drysdale, you gave your word. That's despicable.
Well, it's also economical. I save $1,000.
And so you see, dear boy, there is absolutely no chance of living a life of oriental luxury at the YMCA, especially on 50 cents a week.
Then I reckon I'll just have to go back home.
A very wise decision, Jethro.
Miss Hathaway, I have the pleasure to return your contract.
Well, thank you, Bonsai. You know Jethro said?
Oh, yes.
We's both sublime male beings.
Banzai not feel too sublime right now, but will feel better when new girls arrive from Japan.
Are you getting a new batch?
That's correct. I made plane reservations for them myself.
Hot dog! Hey, remember, Bonsai, we's buddies. You and me, share and share alike.
Did you get your contract back, Miss Jane?
Oh, yes. Thank you, Granny.
Now, you get busy and fix Miss Helen's car.
Oh, yes. Right away.
And you have him.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Sure will. Bonsai and me is buddies.
Granny, you'll be happy to know that I talked Jethro out of running away from home.
After the nice thing that I done for you?
You wanted him to run away?
Well, just long enough to get him over his oriental sublime nonsense.
Oh, I am so sorry, but where could he go on his allowance?
Oh, yeah, that's, how about your apartment?
Oh, Granny.
Well, you can come and stay with us.
Well, that's a marvelous idea. I'll suggest it. Jethro, how would you like to take over my apartment?
You mean it?
Here are the keys. I'm going to move in with the Rubes and Hayshakers.
Oh, boy, thank you, Miss Jane.
You're welcome. Come on, Granny.
Hey, Bonsai, did you hear that? I'm gonna have my own swinging bachelor pad.
Very nice.
Hey, you come on in with me. I'll throw my whole allowance into the deal. You furnish your girls, I'll furnish your money. How about it?
Your uncle have $95 million, correct?
Oh, more than that. How about it? Share and share alike.
This deal. Partner, son.
Come on, partner. Let's fix the car and we'll have our own bachelor wheels.
Granny, I can't thank you enough.
Glad to do it. Look what's coming.
So long. See you later.
Do you think you fetched long enough clothes, Miss Jane?
Oh, yes. It won't take Jethro long to get homesick. Living in my apartment can be very austere. No cooking, no noise, no television.
Jethro's gonna miss television. He's been watching Sesame Street quite regular.
Really?
He's learned pretty near the whole alphabet.
Well, which room should I take, Granny?
Oh, take your pick. There's a flock of empties up there.
Thank you.
Jed, are you home?
In the parlor, Granny.
What's going on in here?
Just having a little tea, Granny.
You got two Japanese girls now. Who's this'n?
It's me, Granny, Ellie Mason.
Ellie Mae, what do you think you're doing?
Well, I asked Miss Nico to learn me how Japanese girls does such a fine job of making men happy.
Get up from there, you traitor.
Now, take it easy, Granny. I figure it wouldn't hurt Ellie none to learn a few secrets from other countries.
I like it, Granny. It's fun.
Once again, Miko displeased Granny-san. So sorry.
Oh, I ain't faulting you, honey. It's just that I hate to see men folks get spoiled so rotten.
Pa ain't spoiled, Granny.
Besides, Granny, like you said, turnabout is fair play. I figured you and Ellie could learn Miss Miko a few things.
I would be honored to learn from Granny-san and beautiful granddaughter.
Well, I guess there is a couple of secrets we could slip you. You ever cook hog jowls and turnips?
No?
Fat back and grits?
No?
Well, how about pig's feet and dandelion greens?
No.
This poor child ain't never had a decent meal.
See, Granny? There's lots of things Miss Miko can learn from you.
You too, Ellie. Ain't nobody can handle critters like this girl.
Critters?
That's animals.
Oh.
You're right, Jed. There's a lot of things this little girl don't know. I'll even learn her to brew up a good old-fashioned...
Hold it, Granny. You ain't gonna learn her to brew that.
What's wrong with sassafras tea?
Oh, I thought you was gonna say white lightning.
I'll learn her that, too.
What is white lightning?
Well, it's like sake, only with more sock.
I like to learn American things.
Granny, where are you?
In here, Miss Jane.
Oh, Granny, I just phoned my apartment. What a lovely picture. Who are these beautiful girls?
I am Miko.
Oh, Miko, of course. And who is this exquisite child?
Is she pretty? This here is...
Don't tell her, Pa San. Let's see can she guess.
Ellie Mae! What a transformation! You look like a geisha.
Oh, shucks. I was trying to look Japanese.
Well, indeed you do.
What was you saying about phoning your apartment?
Oh, yes. Jethro has moved in.
Well, how do you like our swinging bachelor pad, huh?
This whole thing?
Yep, it's all ours.
There's not room in here to swing one bachelor. Where we sleep?
Don't you worry about that. This right here makes into one bed. And there's another one over yonder. Watch this. Well, babe. This is a good one, too. You can take your choice.
Jedro-san, you have money, right?
Sure. My whole allowance. Why?
Just get bad news. Drysdale not pay to fly girls from Japan. You pay?
Heck yeah. How much will it cost?
$1,000.
Okay, I'll cipher out how long it'll take to get them here. Let's see now. $1,000. That's one, comma, not, dot, not. Now, we throws 50 cents into that. 50 into 100 goes twice. 50 cents into naught is naught.
Why you keep saying 50 cents?
Well, that's how much I get every week. But that's my allowance. And 50 cents into them noughts is naught. It's going to be around 2,000 weeks before we have enough money to throw in.
Hey, Mr. Bonsai-san. How are you?
Oh, I'm afraid this not Banzai's day. As Jedro-san would say, everything get roused up.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Anything I can do?
You can persuade Miko to return to House of Banzai.
Well, before I do that, you got to promise that you go along with what the women folks call equal rights.
I promise anything to get Miko back. She is beautiful cherry blossom on the tree of my life. She is lovely butterfly in the garden of my heart. My house is sad without Miko. Forget Miko. Who this?
Pretty little thing, ain't she?
あなたは私の命の美しい桜でございます。あなたは私の心の綺麗な蝶々さんでございます。
What's all that he spouted to me, Pa San?
All right, I know, Ellie Mae-san.
This girl, Ellie Mae?
That's right, she's my daughter.
Oh, so sorry. Once again, Miko become light of my life. Where is she, please?
Well, I think she's out in the kitchen with Granny San.
She's upstairs now, Pa San. Hey, Miko, somebody to see you.
Well, doggies, if it ain't old Banzai. Howdy, y'all.
This Miko?
Why, it's your partner. Why not coming to sit and table with us and eating some victuals?
Victuals?
Yeah, you know. Fat back and grits, pig's feet and dandelion greens, and big old mess of chitlins.
Oh, this not Banzai's day. Definitely.
Well, Well, come on out the kitchen anyway, Bonsai. Maybe Ellie Sand here will fix you one of them meandering ducks.
If I don't get these eggs in the skillet before Jethro comes down to breakfast, he'll eat them raw, shells and all.
Hey, looky here, Granny. Somebody done sent us a telegram.
Don't open it, Jed. It's bad news.
How you know?
Telegrams is always bad news. Somebody's passed on.
Hey, where's Riddle?
I'll commence fixing breakfast right away.
Thank you, Granny.
Jethro, you recollect a little girl back home named Lou Ellen Aiden?
Lou Ellen Aiden.
Yeah, she moved down to Louisiana about the time we come out here to California.
Lou Ellen Aiden.
You used to tote her books to school.
So I picked it up with my toes.
Showing off, huh?
Yeah. Well, anyways, I bent it into a ring and I slipped it on her finger.
Was it by any chance the third finger of her left hand?
Yeah, it was. And then I kissed her.
You did, huh?
Yeah, there was still some icing left on her lips.
Hey, Jethro.
Here, throw me out.
Well, don't go to see Princess Grace and Prince Reindeer.
Well, Jed, ask me to give up polo. Ask me to give up skiing in the Alps. But don't ask me to give up my friends.
Did you all figure out what Llewellyn meant by that telegram?
Yeah, Granny. Appears like she's coming out here to marry Jethro.
She's got to find me first.
Jed, he left without eating.
No question about it, the boy panicked.
Well, let's sit down and eat. If we share Jethro's breakfast, we'll still have enough left over for lunch and supper.
Rusty, please. I'm having enough trouble trying to learn typewriting without you grabbing for the keys.
Well, Ellie, time to head for the bank and your first day as a working girl.
Miss Jane, I'm afraid I'll never learn to type as good as you.
Oh, don't let that concern you. There are other things you can do.
Well, I'll try the best I know how.
Your very presence among us will ensure the rest of us girls decent treatment from old Grump Grub.
Who?
Mr. Drysdale.
Bye, Rusty. Bye, world. See y'all after work.
Ellie, are that cat and that rooster compatible?
Oh, no. They gets along just fine.
Oh, no. Good. Good. Jane Hathaway here. Oh, hello, Mr. Clappett.
Miss Jane, I sure do hate to bother you, but there's a friend of ours arriving at the airport directly, and Jethro ain't around to meet her.
Well, suppose Ellie and I meet her.
That'd be dandy. I'm sure Ellie'd recognize her. They was youngins together.
Llewellyn Aiden, flight number 5 from Monroe, Louisiana, 9:30 a.m. We'll be there.
I sure do appreciate it. I'll call Mr. Drysdale and tell him you'll be late. Bye.
Bye.
Jed, me and old Duke have searched this place from the front gate to the root cellar.
No sign of Jethro?
Not a hide nor hair. And the truck is gone, too. But he left this note.
What does it say?
It says he ain't gonna marry no freckle-faced, barefoot hick. And he ain't coming home until she's gone.
This is gonna be a mite awkward to explain to Llewellyn.
You call her up and tell her not to come.
Too late for that now, Granny. Miss Jane and Ellie Mae is on the way to the airport to meet her now.
Jed, maybe you can't hold a boy to an engagement made when he was in the 2nd grade.
I wouldn't count on it, Granny. Jethro was 14 at the time.
Well, Llewellyn, what do you think of the club at home?
I declare, it's as big as the Capitol building in Baton Rouge.
Yes, it's quite imposing.
I thought you were fetching home little Llewellyn. Where is she?
I'm Llewellyn.
No.
Yes'm, Granny. This is her.
Well, welcome to California, Llewellyn.
Thank you, sir.
Land sakes, child. What's happened to your pigtails and your freckles? Hey, look, Jed. She's wearing shoes.
Of course she is, Granny. She's a grown-up girl now.
I can't get over how she's changed.
I kind of like it myself.
Well, come on inside, everybody. I've got some fresh coffee and sassafras tea a brewing.
Oh, thanks, Granny, but I think Ellie and I better get to the bank as quickly as possible.
Good luck with your new job, Ellie Mae.
Oh, thank you, Llewellyn. See you later.
I told you things upstairs, Llewellyn.
I really didn't intend to move in on you like this, but Ellie insisted you'd want me to.
And she was right, honey.
She was, for a fact. We're proud to have you.
Thank you, Mr. Clanford.
Would you like to come out to the kitchen and have a cup of coffee or some tea?
Yes, I'd like that. Is Jethro here?
No. I was afraid you was going to ask that. You better come over and sit down, honey. I got some bad news for you.
Has something happened to Jethro?
Oh, no. He's the same as ever. Of course, in a way. I guess that's bad news right there. Well, Ellen, we knows why you come to California.
Oh, good. I didn't explain too much in my telegram.
You didn't have to. We put 2 and 2 together. Llewellyn, we knows that you and Jethro was quite close as young'uns back home.
Yes, ma'am. He used to carry my books to school every day.
And he was quite sweet on you, too, wasn't he?
Yes, ma'am. He carved a heart in the tree in front of my house. And inside the heart he carved, Jethro loves C.C.
C.C.
Cupcake. That was his pet name for me.
What are you girls talking about?
I'm trying to tell Llewellyn the bad news about Jethro.
Well, I think the easiest way is just to come right out and say it.
Suppose you do it.
All right. Llewellyn,
Yes, Mr. Clanford?
I see you're still wearing that horseshoe nail ring Jethro gave you.
Yes. He's the only boy I've ever let put a ring on my finger.
Llewellyn,
Yes, Mr. Clanford?
did you have a nice trip out here from Louisiana?
Just wonderful.
Did you hear that, Granny? She had a wonderful trip out from Louisiana.
Get to the point, Jed.
Llewellyn,
Yes, Mr. Clanford?
you sure did turn out pretty.
Thank you, sir.
Jed.
All right, Granny, all right. I'm coming to it. Llewellyn,
Yes, Mr. Clanford?
you recollect the day Jethro put that ring on your finger?
Yes, I do.
You recollect him kissing you?
I do.
You recollect him asking you to wait for him?
I do.
You recollect him saying that one day you would share everything?
I do.
Darling, I wish you'd stop saying I do. You're making me awful nervous.
Me too.
What are you nervous about?
Llewellyn,
Yes, Mr. Clanford?
how's your family?
I can't stand any more of this. Now are you going to tell her that Jethro has jilted her, or am I?
Granny, I think you just did. But I'll share the burden. Llewellyn, Jethro don't want to marry you.
I'm glad to hear that, because I certainly don't want to marry him.
You don't want to marry Jethro?
No, indeed. He's a nice boy, but the girl who marries him will spend the rest of her life in the kitchen.
Well, speaking of kitchen, why don't we all go out there and get us something to eat?
In that telegram that you sent us saying that you was coming to California to take the big step, if it ain't marriage, what is it?
Show business. I hope to be an actress.
Did you hear that, Jed? She don't want Jethro. She wants to act. Ain't that wonderful?
It is for a fact. And Llewellyn,
Yes, Mr. Clanford?
if you're as smart about acting as you are about men, you got it made.
Oh, good morning, Chief. I'm sorry I'm a little late.
A little late? You are 1 hour and 30 minutes late.
Well, didn't Mr. Clanford call you?
So what? Do you think a phone call from Jed Clampett is going to change the rules of this bank? Do you think the mention of his name is going to get you off the hook? Well, if that's the way you think, young lady, you are absolutely right. I adore every member of that Clampett family. They're the most wonderful people in the world. Ellie, I didn't see you. Oh, you look so beautiful. What brings you here?
Well, I work here now, Mr. Drysdale. This here's my first day.
Oh, so it is, so it is. I forgot. Well, welcome aboard. How are things going?
Oh, just fine.
Oh, wonderful. Now you can take the rest of the day off.
Well, I just got here.
Have you had breakfast?
Oh, no, sir, we didn't have time.
Well, come with me and I'll buy you the best breakfast you have ever had.
Oh, thank you. Come on, Miss Jane.
No, Ellie, dear. Miss Hathaway must stay and catch up on her work.
Well, I'll stay and help her.
Oh, aren't you hungry?
Oh, yes, sir, I sure am. So is Miss Jane.
Who are you calling?
My pa. He won't let us go hungry. He'll fetch us something to eat. Howdy, Pa. This here's Ellie.
Hello, Mr. Clampett. This is your friendly banker. Oh, I'm so delighted to have your beautiful daughter as an employee. I'm going to celebrate my good luck by taking her and Miss Hathaway to breakfast. Goodbye. Ah, come, lovely ladies. This is on me. Bon appetit.
Oh, Ellie Mae, I can't tell you what a joy it is to have you working here.
I'll help with the dishes.
You'll do no such thing. You're here to get into the show business. And movie stars don't wash dishes.
I'm a long way from being a movie star, Granny.
Seems to me you're on the way, Llewellyn. You won a beauty contest at that big television station.
Yeah. Station KN...
KNOE-TV in Monroe, Louisiana.
Yeah.
That ought to get you in pictures right there.
I'm afraid it takes more than that to open the doors to a movie studio.
Jed, I'll bet you Mr. Drysdale could help her.
He could for a fact. He's a banker, Llewellyn. He does what you call finances a lot of pictures.
Oh, I'd love to meet him.
Well, no sooner said than done. I'll take you right down there and introduce you.
Oh, wonderful. Just let me change my dress and put on a new face.
You can change your dress, honey. But if I was you, I'd keep that face.
Yeah, you can't beat that. Hello, Jed Clampett speaking. Oh, hello, Jethro. Yeah, Llewellyn's right here.
Can I speak to him?
Hold on, Llewellyn wants to talk to you.
Hi, Jethro. Hello? Hello? He hung up.
Well, he probably thinks you're still out here to marry him.
Now you two skedaddle on down to the bank. And you bring Ellie Mae and Miss Jane and Mr. Drysdale home for supper.
We'll do it, Granny.
Who do you think you are, Arnold the pig? How can you eat so much and stay so skinny?
Chief, all I had were 2 poached eggs.
You didn't poach them. I had to pay for them.
Oh, Chief, really?
And did you have to order ham? Don't you realize you violated a religious law by eating ham?
I am not of that faith.
Join it. That stuff's expensive. Hold it, Hathaway. I'm not through with you.
What now?
Now you take that dumb hillbilly blonde to the secretarial pool and teach her how to type.
But you said that wasn't important.
That's what I said to her. To you, I'm saying if she doesn't type by tonight, her salary's coming out of your salary. And one other thing. If this maple syrup stain doesn't come out of this suit, you're going to have to pay the cleaning bill.
Well, that wasn't my fault. You flew into a rage when the waitress gave you the check.
You could have grabbed it.
Well, I wish I had. It would have prevented an ugly scene.
Out, out!
Miss Jane? Ellie Mae? They must be out on what you call a coffee break. We go in and talk to Mr. Drysdale.
Mr. Clampett, do you really think he can get me a job in movies?
A girl as sweet and pretty as you, it's a lead pipe cinch. Come on. Mr. Drysdale? He appears to be out, too. You sit down here and make yourself comfortable. I'll go see, can I find him?
What are you doing here?
Oh, you scared me.
Big deal. Who are you?
I'm Llewellyn Aiden from down in Monroe, Louisiana. Are you Mr. Drysdale?
So what if I am?
I was told you could help me get a job.
Can you type?
No, sir.
Can you take dictation?
No, sir.
Know anything about bookkeeping or accounting?
No, sir.
Can you program a computer?
No, sir.
Can you foreclose a mortgage?
No, sir.
Can you get a maple syrup stain out of my jacket?
No, sir.
You're just what I need. Another dumb hillbilly blonde, not a brain in your head. Now, why don't you go back to Louisiana, throw yourself in a bayou, and feed yourself to the alligators? Go ahead, cry. Bawl your head off. See what it gets you.
Well, darling, what happened? How come you to be crying like this? Didn't you tell Mr. Drysdale you come out here to be an actress?
She didn't have to tell me, Mr. Clappett. But the moment I saw her, I knew she was a born actress. So immediately, I started to test her. I did the famous shouting scene from The Bride of Frankenstein. And she passed the test with flying colors. Oh, look at those tears. Garbo couldn't shed them any better. This girl is a natural, one of the most gifted actresses of our time. I predict stardom for this lovely, talented young lady.
Well, doggy, did you hear that, Llewellyn? I told you Mr. Drysdale could help you.
Help her? I will dedicate myself to her career. Llewellyn, my dear, who would you like to do your screen test with? Paul Newman? Steve McQueen?
Whoever you think is best, Mr. Drysdale. What studio do you figure she ought to work for?
Let them compete for her services. Let them bid against one another. An actress like Llewellyn Aiden comes along once in a lifetime.
We leave everything to you, Mr. Drysdale. Now I think I'd best get this little girl home. She's plumb wore out from all the acting she's been doing.
This day will go down in motion picture history. For today, a star is born. The Academy Award is but one performance away.
We're obliged to you, Mr. Drysdale, and Llewellyn will thank you proper quick as she pulls herself together.
I know what you're capable of, Llewellyn. And mark my words, one of these nights, you'll be taking that famous fellow Oscar home with you.
Mr. Drysdale, I've known Llewellyn all her life, and she ain't that kind of girl. Well, Llewellyn, looks like you're on your way.
I don't know how to thank you, Mr. Clampett.
Shucks, if Mr. Drysdale does it. Ted Clappett speaking. Jethro? Yeah, she's still here.
Let me tell him the news.
Hold on, Llewellyn's got something to tell you.
Jethro, I'm ready to take that big step. Hello? Hello? He hung up again.
Well, you're back. How did it go?
Granny, it looks like we got ourselves a little movie star here.
Ain't that wonderful?
Well, I haven't made my screen test yet.
Mr. Drysdale says he can get her a big star like Steve McQueen.
Oh, I hope he does. He's my favorite.
You promised her a screen test?
Right, we'll film it right here in the office tomorrow morning.
Oh, you're joking.
Oh, no. You'll be here wearing wardrobe and full makeup at 9 o'clock.
Me? In wardrobe and makeup?
Right. And you better look like Steve McQueen.
Greetings, Mr. Clappett.
Howdy, Miss Jane. You know, I never had a chance to thank you proper for taking Ellie Mae under your wing.
Oh, my pleasure. She's a wonderful roommate, and the girls at the bank are just delighted to have her working with them.
Well, I'm mighty pleased to hear that. Come on in.
Oh, no, thank you. I just dropped by to deliver some of Ellie's friends.
Where is it?
They're in the car. You see, there's a rule in my apartment building against keeping pets.
Ellie Mae bring all them critters over to your apartment.
No, some she acquired after she got there.
That's Ellie Mae for you. She sees one stray critter that's got a home right now. Is that all of them?
No, there's a surprise package. This box.
Well, I'll be doggone.
I believe that does it.
Oh, hold on. There's one more.
One more what?
I don't know. It ain't hatched out yet.
Oh, My, we're not conserving paper, are we? You know, Chief, this is a potential fire hazard.
You've just given me a wonderful idea. Now just stand right over here, see if I can find a match.
Really? Relax, I'll get these letters out for you in no time.
Don't ever leave your post again.
Well, I had an errand to do.
Next time, let only May do it.
Can't drive.
She can't type either.
Give her time. Someday she'll be a great help to you.
Yes, if I ever need to know the capital of Arkansas.
What?
Oh, never mind. Get those letters out. The girl is about as much use to me as a sprained sacroiliac. She can't type. She can't do shorthand. She can't read for violins, run a computer. She can't count money. She's a totally useless female.
Who's that, Mr. Drysdale?
What? Who? How? Oh, my wife. Good to see you, Mr. Kravitz. To what do I owe the honor of your visit?
Well, I don't hardly reckon you could call it an honor. I just come to deposit some money.
Well, that's an honor and a pleasure. Step into my office. You did say a deposit.
Yeah, somebody sent me a check a while back, and I clean forgot about it.
Well, put it right there. Royalties from your oil wells, no doubt.
Could be. I recollect it was drawn on a bank in Tulsa, New York, Texas.
Please, where is the check?
Right here in my reticule. Would you like to have it?
Would Reagan want to be governor again?
That's an interesting question. What do you think, Jed?
You got me. Let's ask Miss Jane what she thinks.
Good idea.
Sure, I still have my first textbook on typing. Oh, maybe it's over here.
I sure do hate to put you to all this trouble, Miss Jane.
It's no trouble at all, Ellie. Ah, here it is. Whew.
Can I take you back to the bank with me and practice?
Oh, that's the whole idea. Oh, and speaking of the bank, our lunch hour's almost over. Oh, greetings, Mr. Finney. You will be happy to know that we are not cooking lunch in the apartment.
What I'll be happy to know is you get rid of the zoo.
It's all been taken care of, I assure you.
Girl collects animals the way you collect books.
Oh, speaking of books, Mr. Finney, I wonder if you could possibly repair the lock on this cabinet. I have some rather rare editions on ornithology.
What's that, Miss Jane?
It's a study of birds.
Don't tell her. She'll bring some home.
Well, come on, Ellie, we better go.
And don't bring along any critters, as you call them.
Yes, sir, Mr. Finney. I sure am sorry you don't like animals.
That's all right. I don't like people either. By the way, she's a Vassar graduate, and she's really got it up here.
Yeah, but, I like it where the other girls got it.
Well, you can forget about her. She wouldn't look twice at a bum like you. Her father's worth $95 million.
95 million?
You want to laugh? She's living here with Miss Hathaway to learn how to be a secretary.
You're putting me on.
True story.
What's her name?
I told you to forget about her. One look at you and the family put a bounty on you. Why don't you get a haircut?
Because this kind of hair is in now. Besides, who's got $3?
Yeah. Well, here. Hold these. And be careful. They're first editions on Audubon.
These are paintings of birds.
Well, what did you expect?
I thought Audubon was a highway in Germany.
Can I give you a piece of advice, Dick?
Paul,
Paul Small. Get acquainted with Miss Hathaway. Maybe you can learn something.
it's a good idea, Mr. Finney. There is something I could learn from her.
Well, you finally started to listen. Look at the books this girl's got in this apartment. History, music, art, poetry.
Birds.
Right. Miss Hathaway's a true intellectual.
You've given me some good advice, Mr. Finney, and I really appreciate it.
Well, remember the overdue rent when the loot comes in from YGM.
YGM?
Your grandmother.
It's probably Mr. Finney checking to see if you brought home any more animals.
I'm terribly sorry for the intrusion, but this is an emergency.
An emergency?
Yes, I saw a summer tanager fly over the top of the building.
A summer tanager?
Yes, it's quite a rare bird, and I'm certain I spotted one. I was right. There he is.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, hold still, you elusive little beauty, so I can focus on a close-up.
Oh, this would be priceless.
I missed. He flew away.
Tragedy. A summer tanager this time of year, it's almost unheard of.
Oh, are you interested in birds?
Oh, intensely. I'm a bird watcher.
Well, I had no idea there were two of us in the building.
Oh, I've seen you briefly in passing. I'm Jane Hathaway.
Forgive me. In all the excitement, I neglected to introduce myself. I'm Robert Audubon.
Not Audubon of the Audubon Society.
Well, I'm a descendant of John James Audubon.
Oh, how marvelous. What an honor this is.
Please, I don't like to capitalize on the family name.
I can't tell you what a thrill this is. Oh, forgive me. This is my roommate, Ellie Mae Clampett, Mr. Robert Audubon.
Howdy.
Hi. Well, I hope our paths will cross again.
As do I, Mr. Audubon.
Huh? Bob.
Gene.
Oh, by the way, forgive my appearance. For the last couple of months, I've been in the wilds of Canada, and, well, I haven't had a chance to get to the barber.
Were you by any chance in Canada to photograph the almost extinct...
Ross's snow goose. Say you are an ornithologist.
Coming from you, that is high praise indeed.
Till we meet again.
Au revoir.
Oh, nice meeting you, Miss,
Ellie Mae Clampett.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Oh! Fine man. So cerebral.
So what?
Oh, didn't you admire his intellect?
No, ma'am. He's got so much hair, I didn't even see it. Morning, Granny.
Greetings, Granny.
What on earth is you girls doing out here at this hour? Barely daybreak.
We just couldn't sleep.
We got some real exciting news.
Yes, a handsome young man has appeared on the scene.
Glory, hallelujah.
What's all the excitement out here?
Miss Jane has done found a fella, just like she promised.
A real handsome rascal, Pa, and he lives right in Miss Jane's apartment building.
Well, doggies.
Oh, we're so happy for you, darling. Did he pop the question yet?
Well, he ain't my fella, Granny. He's Miss Jane.
Oh, well, that's wonderful news, Miss Jane. Congratulations. Has he put a ring on your finger yet?
Oh, my gracious, no, Mr. Clampett. I just met him last evening.
I bet you Miss Jane didn't sleep 40 winks. She was up all night writing poetry.
There's one I rather like. I hope it appeals to him.
Well, let's hear it.
Ode to an ornithologist.
Well, it's short. It don't rhyme, but it's nice.
No, Granny. That's just the title. It goes like this. Hail to thee, Robert Audubon, kindred spirits are we. With binocular and lens, we'll seek our feathered friends. Through forest, through meadow, and through lea. Together we'll find that moment rare when romance comes winging through the air. With one eye on the tanager and the other on the manager. We'll rendezvous in apartment 12B.
Well, that's a real nice poem, ain't it, Granny?
Well, at least it rhymes.
Miss Jane's gonna slip it under his door.
No, Ellie, I've been giving that some thought. That's a bit forward. Perhaps I should play hard to get.
You want some advice, honey?
Gee, I'm sure Miss Jane will get along just fine. You want to come in and have some coffee with us?
Oh, personally, I am much too excited. Besides, I made a very early appointment in my beauty shop.
Well, we'd best get going, Miss Jane.
I wonder if I should have my beautician give me the full treatment.
You want some advice, honey? what you mean? Oh, no.
Oh, no one could be lovelier than you.
Well, thank you.
Where's Miss Hathaway?
She's at the beauty shop.
Well, how soon will she be here?
Well, I ain't sure. She's getting her full treatment.
Well, that takes care of today. Yeah, hope she's here tomorrow.
Oh, Mr. Drysdale, Miss Jane wants me to ask you a favor.
Fat Chance.
What you mean, Fat Chance?
Well, he's an old friend of mine, Minnesota Fat Chance. We used to play pool together. What's the favor?
Well, she wants to leave early this afternoon so she can go bird watching with her new friend.
No way.
What?
Another friend of mine, No Way Corrigan.
Well, this friend of hers is coming in to meet you this morning.
You say he's a bird watcher?
Yes, sir. He's been up in Canada looking for a snow goose.
I hope he gets it.
Him and Miss Jane is just crazy about one another.
You can stop after crazy.
Oh, here he is. Mr. Drysdale, this here's Robert Audubon.
Then I am in the right office.
No, you're not.
I beg your pardon?
Ellie, will you leave me alone with this bird boy? There's a few things I want to say to him.
Yes, sir. See you later.
Cheerio.
Look, Audubon.
The name is Robert Audubon Getty.
I don't care if it's Robert Audubon. Getty? Like in J. Paul Getty, the billionaire?
Let's leave my Uncle Paul out of this.
Uncle Paul?
Just because he settled a fortune on me doesn't mean that he owns me.
Sit down, my boy. Sit down. Where do you bank?
Oh, London, New York, Switzerland.
Oh, we have some marvelous banks here in Beverly Hills. Please don't judge my bank by these cigars. They were a present. Now, I understand you're acquainted with my lovely secretary, Jane Hathaway.
Yes, we share an interest in ornithology.
Much money in that?
It's the study of birds.
Oh, yes, of course, my favorite subject. And getting back to one of my other favorite subjects, money. Do you know that many rich people in Beverly Hills bank here?
Really?
Yes. You've heard of J.D. Clampett?
Clampett.
Yes, he has over $100 million in my bank.
Really?
Yes, and that lovely girl out there, that's his only daughter, and she is single.
Oh, why should that interest me?
Well, I mean, think of the possibilities. Your fortune and her fortune getting together.
Mr. Drysdale, money seems to be the only subject you can talk about, so therefore our meeting is over.
Oh, I'm sorry I offended you. What would you like to talk about?
Well, I came to see if Miss Hathaway might have the day off.
Why, of course, the day, the week, the month, you name it. She's a wonderful girl, and she'll tell you that this is a wonderful bank.
There you go again.
Oh, forgive me, it just slipped out. I'll see you again, I hope.
Perhaps. I say, how about this child joining Miss Hathaway and me on a bird-watching expedition?
Of course, of course. Go with this nice gentleman, Ellie Mae.
But who'll do the typing?
I will. Have fun, children. I hope you see some beautiful birds. Bye-bye.
Oh, yes, my dear. You'll love bird-watching. It's a very rewarding experience.
Well, I don't know just a whole heap about birds.
Oh, I'll teach you everything you need to know. Now, first of all, why don't you slip into something comfortable? For the woods, that is.
Oh, yes, sir. I see what you mean.
Yeah, and I'll go to my apartment and do the same and meet you back here in 10 minutes.
Well, what about Miss Jane?
Oh, well, I'll leave a note telling her exactly where to find us.
Where's that?
The San Bernardino Forest.
I'll hurry.
You do that.
Robert, you found my poem. You're waiting for me.
Please, don't do that.
I'm tempting you with the mating call of the wild Canadian goose.
This is too much.
What's going on, Miss Jane?
Oh, dear Robert, I overstimulated him. I'll follow him to the roof and move in for the kill.
Earl, you've been doing an outstanding job. Keep up the good work. Bessie, you're a real good ape. I'm proud of you. Rusty, you've been doing a good job keeping the gophers and the moles out of the yard. Here's a nice little piece of fish for you. Duke, old-timer, I know that these chilly mornings gives us senior citizens some aching in the joints. So I stirred up a spoonful of my rheumatism medicine for you in your victuals. Here you are. Sorry, Duke. I should have fetched you a chaser. Elmer, I really don't know what good you do around here. But as raccoons go, you're a handsome fella. Here's a little treat for you, and eat it in good health. Oh, Jed.
Granny, you just proved something I've been suspecting for a long time.
What's that?
Ellie don't get her love animal just from my side of the family. You got a soft spot in your heart for him, too.
Well, I didn't want the pesky varmints to starve to death.
Well, it wasn't just the victuals. I heard you sweet-talking them.
Well, I didn't want them to be missing Ellie. So I did it because they wouldn't be howling and crying and raising a ruckus.
You done a good job. Old Duke has sure got a smile on his face. Yeah, you girls are up mighty early.
Miss Jane's so excited about a new fella, she don't sleep much no more.
Love hastens the rosy dawn and bids of restless sleep begone.
Miss Jane, you sure do have a way with words.
That was swift.
Yeah, it didn't take long.
Excuse me, y'all. I want to say hi to my critters.
Well, Miss Jane, we is mighty happy to hear about your romance.
Yeah, come on inside and tell us all about him.
How can I describe him? He's tall, he's handsome and divine. Any girl would swoon to have him, and yet he's totally mine.
Jed, there just ain't no justice. Miss Jane has got herself a handsome fellow. And there's your daughter, hugging an ape.
Morning, Ellie. Fortunately, the monster from the Forbidden Vault isn't here yet.
Well, Bessie won't be no trouble, Miss Jane. She's so lonesome for me.
Well, if anybody can get away with bringing an ape to the bank, it's you. Actually, we could put glasses on her, seat her at a vice president's desk, and no one would ever notice.
Hear that, Bessie? You're going to be a vice president.
Oh, don't make any rash promises, Ellie. There are some apes here who have seniority.
You sit right here and behave yourself while Miss Jane and me figure out where to put you. Miss Jane, Bessie's awfully good at dusting and washing windows and such.
Well, don't worry about it, Ellie. The chief isn't due for half an hour. We'll have plenty of time to figure out. It sounds as though somebody's typing in my office.
Sure does. It's Bessie.
What a remarkable aptitude for typing.
No, you cannot have a raise. Now, don't ask me again. And don't think you can be replaced just because you're a vice president.
Vomit, itch, twitch it, langsam, won't it? Ellie's typing's improving.
Put Bessie in here quickly.
Well, good morning, girls.
Morning, Mr. Drysdale.
Good morning, Chief.
Miss Hathaway, you know that new vice president, Bill Steele? He's asking for a raise again. What a jerk.
Chief, you could hardly call Mr. Steele new. He has been a vice president for 15 years, and he has never had a raise.
Would you think after 15 years a jerk would quit asking?
Oh, Mr. Drysdale, don't
Why not?
Oh, well, because there's a maintenance man working on the plumbing in there.
Yes, sir, that's right.
Oh, there's the kind of maintenance man I like. No union problems, no portal pay, no... What was that?
Chief, it's just a chimpanzee.
What in the name of the Federal Reserve System is an ape doing in my bank? Where is he?
Please don't yell so loud, Mr. Drudge. You're scaring poor little Bessie Harris to death.
Ellie, dear, is he yours?
Yes, sir.
What a darling little dad. Did the bad bank president frighten the cute itty-bitty ape?
Call her Bessie. She likes that.
Hers is the sweetest little Bessie would ever will. That's my baby. Oh. Wasn't that darling? Did you see that, Miss Alloway? Wasn't that darling?
Yes, I enjoyed it immensely.
We'll get rid of it.
Chief, she's an awfully good worker.
Worker?
Well, yes, she can wash windows, clean light fixtures, anything up high. Oh, let her stay. She's no trouble, really.
All right, Ellie, take her into my office.
Oh, thank you. You hear that, Bessie? You can stay.
Let her sit at my desk. She can play with my wife's picture.
Chief, she might break it.
I know.
Good morning.
Robert.
Jane, my dear, you're as radiant this morning as a bird of paradise.
Oh, thank you, and no crested cardinal could surpass your magnificence. Oh, Chief, have you met...
Indeed, I have. How are you, my boy?
Late. Didn't we say 9 o'clock for Miss Clampett's driving lesson?
Yes, so we did. Robert has kindly offered to teach Ellie to drive my car so she needn't be dependent upon me for transportation.
Marvelous, wonderful idea. Go get Ellie.
Right, Chief.
Well, how is your beloved uncle?
Which one?
Uncle Paul, J. Paul Getty, the billionaire.
Oh, that one.
Yes, how is he?
Rich.
You're a man of few words. I like that.
I plumb forgot about my driving lesson.
Naughty girl. This very important man is donating his valuable time to help you. You should be extremely grateful that a man of his exalted position would take the time and trouble.
Knock it off, will you?
Does he know how to turn a phrase? What a beautiful human being.
Well, run along, you two. Drive carefully.
Oh, hey, you might want to make some notes on Ellie's driving. Here's a handy pad for you.
These are deposit slips.
Oh, really? Oh, well, who knows? They might come in handy. Goodbye. Take all the time you want. Happy motoring. Wonderful fellow.
He certainly is.
He has what it takes to make any woman happy, the 3 L's.
3 L's?
Looks, luck, and loot. That's right, Bessie. Break that mean lady's picture.
Sort of thank you for my driving lessons, Mr. Robert. What was it you said you needed again?
A tranquilizer, please.
Would it help you to get rid of that green look?
I hope so.
I ain't just sure Miss Jane's got any of them. They're tranquilizers.
Oh, just a couple of aspirin and some water will be fine. I'll just sit here.
Oh, I'm afraid that sofa ain't too comfortable.
Oh, he'll be okay. Believe me, anything that isn't going 60 miles an hour through a 30-mile zone is comfortable. Hey, you know, Ellie, you've really got to learn the difference between the brake and the accelerator.
Well, I think I already know. The accelerator's what you push when you want to stop.
Oh, boy.
Here. These pills don't help you. You go see my granny. She's a doctor.
Your grandmother's an MD?
That's right, mountain doctor. My granny comes from the hills of Tennessee, and the women folks been doctoring for hundreds of years. Are you feeling well enough to drive me back to the bank?
Oh, not quite yet. Tell me a little bit more about your family.
Well, Pa's real easygoing. You'd like him straight off.
I understand he's worth quite a bit of money.
Right around $100 million.
I like him straight off.
Now, Granny, she's kind of hard to get next to. Too bad you ain't from Tennessee.
Well, what part of Tennessee is she from?
Well, she was born and raised down around Limestone. That's Davy Crockett country. You like him?
Love him. Used to watch his show every week.
Granny thinks the sun rises and sets in old Davy.
I'm beginning to like him myself.
You feeling better?
Yeah.
Well, I'll drive you to the bank and have another lesson.
I'm not feeling that much better. Besides, didn't Mr. Drysdale say you could have the day off?
Come to think of it, he sure did. You reckon it's all right if I take a sunbath up on the roof?
Oh, I recommend it. And I'll come up and see you when I get back.
Oh, thank you.
My pleasure. Goodbye.
Bye. See you later.
Well, getting acquainted with Miss Hathaway's done you a world of good. You look almost like a gentleman.
Thanks, Mr. Fang.
How about the 3 months back rent? Did the money come from MGM?
MGM? Oh, my grandmother. No, not yet, but maybe today.
Look, Dick.
It's Robert now. Robert Audubon. But you can call me Bob. See you later.
Oh, hold it, Bob. Pay up. I'm going to change the lock on that apartment.
Oh, look, Mr. Finney, I'm on my way right now to try out for a part. Now, if I give a good performance, I'll be in Clover, believe me.
What kind of a part?
Well, it's sort of a Davy Crockett type.
Well, you get the hair for it, but,
Well, I'm on my way right now to change into my Tennessee clothes.
I don't know that I should trust you.
Believe me, you can. Honestly, I mean, this is a great opportunity.
How about a little cash?
Oh, thanks. I could use 20.
Oh, I know I shouldn't do this. But you took my advice about Miss Hathaway, and I like that. You young fellas usually don't listen.
Well, I listen. I listen.
I'm breaking a long-standing rule and lending money to an actor.
I really appreciate this, Mr. Finney, and thanks for trusting me. And don't worry, you'll get this double sawbuck back.
Oh, I'm not worried. When I get it back, you'll get this back.
You're all heart, Mr. Finney.
What you got there, Granny?
Vittles.
I taught 'em for you. You ain't feeding the critters again so soon, are you?
No, Jed. That ain't for the critters.
Where'll I put it, Granny?
Just set it here by the driveway.
Who's it for?
I'd appreciate it if you didn't ask me that. You might want to do something about it.
Well, I might have Dad. Who is it for?
It's for Jethro.
Where is Jethro?
I don't know, and I don't want to know. He slips by at odd hours, scoops up the kettle and skedaddles back into hiding.
Why is he hiding?
He thinks that little girl from Louisiana is still here waiting to marry him.
Well, why don't you leave him a note and tell him she's gone?
All right, Jed, I'll do that. But I can still use a few more days of peace and quiet. I'll leave the note next Monday.
Granny,
Yeah?
make it Tuesday.
Howdy.
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 Be this the Clampett place?
It be. I'm Jed Clampett. This here's Granny.
Well, Crockett's the name. Robert A. Crockett.
Oh, pleased to meet you.
Where you from?
Oh, my family hails from down around Limestone, Tennessee.
And your name is Crockett?
Yes, ma'am.
Is you by any chance kin to the one and only Davy?
I reckon I am.
Did you hear that, Jed?
I sure did. We's right honored.
How'd you hear about us?
Well, your lovely granddaughter told me about you. She said you're all from Tennessee, too.
Born and raised not a stone throw away from Davy's cabin.
Well, I reckon that you ought to have the family heirloom.
What's that?
Davy's cap.
You mean Davy himself wore this?
The day he followed Andy Jackson into battle.
Davy never followed nobody. He led.
Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. It's just that, well, I don't like to brag on my kinfolk.
Well, you got every right to brag on somebody that likes a Davy Crockett. But how can you part with something as important as this?
Well, you see, sir, I'm not a Tennessean born and bred, and, well, I figured old Davy'd like Granny to have it.
Oh, bless you, my son. Bless you. How did Davy see the shoot straight wearing this?
Well, likely his head was a mite bigger.
Well, I'll be moseying along.
No. Now you're going to stay and have victuals with us.
Victuals?
Yeah, how'd you like Granny to stuff a possum for you?
Oh, not especially. I don't believe in overfeeding animals.
What do you mean, oh, no? It gives her a sense of pride to be active and useful. A busy chimp is a happy chimp. Good, very good job. Oh, why don't you sit down and have her brush your shoes?
No, thank you. I do not believe in exploiting underprivileged animals.
Oh, she enjoys it. Go ahead.
Well,
I'm going to put her down in front of the bank. I think it's a nice service for the customers.
I must admit she's very adept at it.
Are you kidding? She gives the best shine in town. Fast, too.
Well, thank you. You did an excellent job.
I mean, 35 cents.
You're charging for her work?
I've got an investment in this equipment. You think shoe polish is free?
Oh, gee, now,
Come
really?
on, 35 cents. Hand it over.
Oh, I don't have any change. All I have is $1.
We can arrange that. Give the lady her change.
What does she want now?
A tip, you cheapskate. No skimming. Now, get down in front of the bank and rustle up some business. And no pawning of tips, because I'll be watching you right through the window.
Well, we is mighty pleased you could take victuals with us, Mr. Crockett.
Oh, please call me Bob. And the pleasure was all mine, Mr. Clampett.
Oh, Jed. Sorry you can't set a spell and chew the fat with us.
Oh, no thanks. I couldn't eat another bite.
Did you enjoy your meal?
Oh, sure did, ma'am. Them was right fine victuals.
Well, you can't hardly beat braised breast of buzzard.
Is that what I ate?
That was the main dish. You started off with dilled owl gizzards.
Really, I was looking a mite pale. Maybe he needs a little doctoring.
I'll brew you up a pot of horsemen and dog-fennel tea.
No, thanks. I really have to be going.
Yeah, looks like Miss Hathaway's car you're driving.
Oh, it is indeed. I borrowed it to give Ellie Mae some driving lessons.
Well, that was surpassing kind of you.
And brave.
Mr. Crockett, I want to thank you for giving me Davy's cap. You're a dandy fine fella.
He is, for a fact. You know he just gave Ellie Mae a driving lesson?
No.
Yep.
She's a lovely girl, and, well, ma'am, now that I've met you, I can see where she gets her beauty.
Are you married?
Granny.
Well, I only asked him, Jed, to see if he could qualify for a little shot of white lightning.
It is a family rule that you can't sample Granny's brew unless she's married.
I'm single.
I'll go fetch my jug.
Granny, the man says he's single.
The jug is for me. I'm going to celebrate.
Granny, come back here.
Well, it was sure nice meeting you folks.
Well, I hope our paths will cross again sometime.
I'll drink to that.
Bye, y'all.
So long.
See you soon, son.
He's a fine boy.
Yeah. I think Ellie has caught herself a real keeper.
Granny, let's not count our fish until he's fried.
Speaking of fish, Jethro's been here. That whole kettle of catfish stew is gone.
Yep. Looks like he snuck in, snatched a snack, and snuck off.
Wonder where that boy is hiding.
Granny, ignorance is bliss. Let's keep it blissful for a while.
I'll drink to that.
Doggone if I ain't tempted to join you.
Oh, Miss Hathaway, congratulations.
On what?
The improvement in Dick Bremerkamp.
Who?
Oh, I'm sorry. Robert Audubon.
Oh.
You've been a marvelous influence on the boy.
Well, thank you. He's done a great deal for me, too.
You can thank me for bringing you two together.
I shall be eternally grateful. By the way, have you seen Robert?
Yes, he just went up on the roof with his camera.
Doubtless in search of the elusive summer tanager.
Could be.
I think I shall don my birdwatcher's uniform, scale the fire escape, and surprise the dear boy.
Stay in there, Miss Hathaway. I'm pulling for you.
Thank you for your good wishes.
Oh, by the way,
Yes.
if you see him, ask him when he's going to come up with that double sawbuck.
Double sawbuck. I don't think I've heard of it. It must be an extremely rare bird.
I had a marvelous time with your family.
Did Granny feed you?
Oh, please, not while I'm enjoying myself. It's beautiful. Now, hold it. Hold it right there. You mind, fella? We'd like to be alone.
Robert, it is I, Jane Hathaway.
Oh, boy.
Have you spotted the elusive tanager?
Huh? Oh, yeah. He went that way.
Wait for me. After we find the tanager, we'll seek the double sawbuck.
Presentation. Morning, Jed.
Where's Granny?
What you doing?
Well, I'm mixing up a batch of mortar. I'm finally going to patch that hole in the foundation.
Oh, good. That'll stop them critters from getting under the house.
Yeah, I think... Granny, ain't you never going to take off that Davy Crockett cap?
Not until the wedding day.
Whose wedding day?
Your daughter's. The glorious day when Ellie Mae Clampett becomes Mrs. Robert A. Crockett.
Granny, we just met the boy yesterday. Ain't you kind of counting your chickens before they's hatched?
Ain't nothing chicken about this boy, Jed. He's a direct descendant of the greatest hero that Tennessee ever produced. The one and only Davy Crockett himself.
Granny, I ain't knocking the boy. I just don't think you ought to be making wedding plans.
I ain't doing nothing. It's fate. Remember the saying, marriages is made in Tennessee.
That's heaven.
You been there, have you?
Granny, you are something else.
I like you too, Jed. Come on, let's go have breakfast.
Well, I reckon this mortar won't set up on me in the time it takes to eat.
Of course it won't. I'm fixing something fast this morning.
What is it?
Jackrabbit. Something fast. Jackrabbit. Did you catch that, Jed?
I caught it and I dropped it. Granny, you sure are feeling your oats today.
Well, weddings make me happy.
I got a feeling this is going to be a long day. Speaking of breakfast, I didn't see no bucket of victuals outside for Jethro.
I didn't leave none this morning. Jethro will be home today. He's coming out of hiding.
Oh, you told him that that girl he thought was trying to trap him is gone, huh?
Not exactly, no.
Well, anyway, you got word to him it was safe to come home, huh?
I figured the best way was not to leave any victuals. When Jethro gets hungry enough, he'll be home.
That's right. Take quite a spell to get a message to his brain. But reaching his stomach is a quick trip.
I was right. He's here. He's in time for Ellie's wedding.
Let's go out and make him feel welcome.
Sounds like he left again.
I wonder what scared him away. There he goes. Lickety-split.
Jed, look.
My bucket of mortar. It's gone.
Jethro must have thought it was grits. He'll eat it.
I'm afraid he will.
What'll we do?
Well, about all we can do is hope it don't set up too quick after he swallows it.
What if it does?
Well, then, let's hope that he's hiding near his school. Because he's going to be spitting a lot of chalk.
Come on, Ellie. We'll have a showdown with Mr. Drysdale here and now. Well, Chief, you have finally sunk to a new low.
Maybe not. What have I done?
It was bad enough when you made Ellie's chimp wash windows and shine shoes. But your latest exploitation of that helpless little animal is simply outrageous.
Oh, calm down.
We found him 14 blocks from this bank. Well, aren't you ashamed of yourself?
What's to be ashamed of? I put him in charge of advertising for this bank. That's an honor.
Really?
Well, you name me one other monkey that's in the advertising business.
Well...
Never mind. I just thought of a few myself.
Poor little critter. His feet's all sore from all that walking.
And carrying that heavy sign. You are very lucky that we got there before the SPCA.
What's that?
The Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals.
How do you like that? Everybody's protected but bank presidents. We're the downtrodden minority. Anybody can pick on us.
Now, don't you worry. I'm going to tell Paul how mean Mr. Drysdale's been to you.
Wait a minute, Ellie, dear. I thought the exercise would do him good. I didn't know it was going to hurt his cute little feet. This little piggy went to market. This little piggy stayed home. This little piggy had roast beef. This little piggy had none. And this little piggy went way, 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 all the way home.
And that's just where I'm going to take this poor little critter right now. Home.
Oh, Ellie, you're not going to tell your father anything bad about a nice bank president.
Well, I think I'm going to tell him what you done.
What did I do?
You made him tote this heavy sign all over Beverly Hills.
Oh, that's not heavy. Look, I'll show you. That's fun, see?
Now, how about carrying it 14 blocks barefooted?
See, that's a marvelous idea. Take your shoes off.
No, not me. You.
Oh, I'd love to, but I have a very important business meeting right now.
With whom?
With my advertising manager. Would you girls mind leaving us alone? Now, the way I see our next advertising campaign, do you mind? We're busy. Out!
Are you Mr. Clampett?
Yes, sir.
I found this young man doubled up under a culvert out here.
It's Jethro.
Hi, Uncle Jed.
I think we ought to call a doctor.
Good idea. Doctor, come a-running.
Yes, Ed. Sakes alive. It's Jethro.
Yes'm. This policeman found him doubled up under a culvert and fetched him home.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Policeman. I'll take charge of the patient now.
Are you a doctor?
Been practicing medicine for pretty near 60 years. It all started when I was a girl in Tennessee. I was born and raised down around Limestone. That's near Greensville. That's Davy Crockett country. If you ain't never been to Tennessee, you gotta go. It is just beautiful. Has the prettiest scenery that you ever laid your eyes on.
Granny, I'm dying and you're jawing.
Oh, now you're not dying.
Yes, I am too. I ate them grits of yours and they're killing me.
Oh, come on into my examination room. I'll have you right as rain in no time. Come on.
Well, I sure do thank you, Mr. Policeman. Say, what happened to the truck the boy was driving?
Oh, we had to impound it.
Well, that's all right. Truck's taken a beating before. Say, why don't you stay and take lunch with us?
Well, I don't know.
Granny is cooking up a big mess of grits.
No thanks.
Funny, some folks just don't seem to care for grits. Oh, Miss Jane? Ted Clampett speaking. Is Ellie Mae there?
Not at the moment, Mr. Clampett. Can I give her a message?
I'd appreciate it if you would tell her that Jethro is home safe and sound. Better just make that safe. Well, anyway, I figured she'd want to know.
I'll give her the good news as soon as she returns from her driving lesson. Yes, that's right. Robert is giving Ellie her second lesson right now.
The brake. Put your foot on the brake.
Did you see him? That rascal just went straight through the green light.
Ellie, will you please turn around and face the front?
Yes, sir. I sure do appreciate you learning me to drive, because I'm the driver in the family now.
No.
Yeah, Jethro's hiding out.
Oh? When did he ride with you?
Oh, Jethro ain't never rode with me. He's hiding out because he's scared of getting married.
He doesn't know what fear is.
Your face is turning green.
The light is turning red. Can you tell the difference?
Of course I can. You got a mustache.
Ellie, just move over and stop.
Okay. But it's kind of hard to reach the pedals from here.
Ellie, that's enough. Let's go back to the van.
Well, it's over.
How's Jethro?
Oh, he'll recover. The operation was a success.
Oh, you operated.
Took out 10 pounds of mortar.
Got to cut him open, huh?
No. I just reached down his gullet and pulled it out. First, I had to beat on his belly a little to bust it up.
Well, I'm glad you didn't have to take the boy into surgery.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. I can untie the goat now.
Yeah, I noticed that goat tethered outside the back door. How come?
Well, I wanted him ready in case I had to do a stomach transplant. Thanks for standing by, Billy. Glad I didn't need you.
How long you figure it'll be before Jethro's up and about, Doctor?
Well,
Well, how about some victuals? I'm starving.
does that answer your question?
It does. Sit down, boy. We're glad to have you home.
Glad to be home, Uncle Jed. What's for victuals, Granny?
I'm fixing you something special in celebration of the wedding.
You mean that Llewellyn is still waiting to marry me?
No, I'm talking about Ellie Mae's wedding.
Now, Granny.
Well, who's she marrying?
The direct descendant of Davy Crockett.
Granny.
He give me this cat.
Davy Crockett?
No, the 6th or 7th grandson. The one that's gonna marry Ellie Mae.
Granny, will you stop telling Jethro things that just ain't so?
Uncle Jed, is Granny fibbing to me?
He's bending the facts a mite.
I knew it. You're trying to trick me into marrying that Llewellyn Aiden. Well, I'm going back into hiding.
You see what you done, Granny?
Don't forget to leave me a pot of victuals.
You just wouldn't cross your bridges before you come.
But this time, no grits, please.
I'm back, Miss Jane. And thanks again for letting your sweetie give me another driving lesson.
My pleasure, Ellie Mae. Where is Robert?
Oh, he went to take a present to Granny. He sure is nice to her.
How like him. So typical of a bird watcher. Kind and thoughtful.
Yes, ma'am. He's just real interested in Granny.
He's a darling boy. As a matter of fact, I have just dashed off a quatrain which describes him perfectly. Robert, dear Robert, you're easy to love. Strength of an eagle, heart of a dove. Trembling I wait the bird of your quest, hoping that soon we'll feather our nest.
You sure do write pretty poetry, Miss Jane.
Thank you.
Could I practice my typing by copying it?
I'd be flattered. Tell me, what sort of a present did Robert take to Granny?
Oh, it was the Confederate flag that his great-great-granddaddy toted into battle.
Ah, yes. That's where he inherited the eagle side of his nature, the valiant warrior.
Granny, your victuals it. Well, if it ain't Mr. Crockett. Good to see you again, young fella.
Good to see you, sir.
Look what he give me, Jed. It belonged to his great-great-granddaddy, General Beauregard Crockett.
Well, doggy.
I want to be wrapped in this when I go, Jed.
Granny, don't talk about passing on.
I mean when I go to Ellie's wedding.
Is your granddaughter getting married?
Well, that's up to you. Have you proposed yet?
Granny.
Well, Jed, he's been so nice to us. The least we can do is give him something in return, like a wedding.
Granny, you hush that kind of talk.
Now, Jed, you're a rich man. You got plenty of money. And you can afford a nice wedding and a big dowry.
Granny, you're embarrassing this boy something awful. Come on out in the kitchen. Granny's got victuals ready.
Ellie, dear, I'm glad to see you practicing your typing. But suppose you do it in the secretarial pool.
Oh, yes, sir, Mr. Drysdale. I got just one more word of this poem left to finish. There. How'd I do?
Very good indeed. A poem to Robert.
Yes, sir.
And where is that splendid young chap?
Oh, he's up at the mansion giving a present to Granny.
Robert, dear Robert, you are easy to love. She loves him. Ellie Mae Clampett loves Robert Audubon Getty. Oh, what a marriage that would be. The perfect mating of two beautiful fortunes. Miss Hathaway?
Yes, Chief.
Keep an eye on things. I'm on my way to handle the financial merger of the year. J. Paul Getty and J.D. Clampett.
Now, you men folks, sit down. We is gonna have grits, greens, and jowls.
Them is real any victuals, Granny?
I'm going to the pantry and get some of my hickory smoked jowls. Them is the best.
Hey, Mr. Clavitt, you started to tell me about Ellie Mae's collection of animals.
That girl has got every critter you can name and some you can't. We got birds, bears, apes. Place is a regular zoo.
Yeah, I think I just saw one.
What was it?
I couldn't tell.
Dad, will you come in here in the pantry and give me a hand?
Come in, Granny.
Excuse me.
Hey, mister, what you fixing to eat?
Grits and greens and jowls.
The greens and jowls is all right, but don't eat them grits. They'll kill you.
What kind of critter you figure you seen?
I think it was a cross between a gorilla and a parrot.
No fooling.
Yeah. Looked like an ape, but it talked.
Well, I see you've gotten acquainted with this wonderful young man.
Yes, sir.
You betcha we have.
Are you aware of the distinguished family from which he comes?
You bet we are.
Where do you suppose this come from?
Well, offhand, I'd say from one of Ellie's critters.
This come from old Davy himself.
Swell. You know, I'm responsible for bringing Robert and Ellie together.
Is that a fact?
Bless you, Mr. Drysdale.
Yes, I could see immediately that theirs would be a perfect union.
Perfect what?
Union.
You mean confederacy?
I stand corrected.
Do you know that he's the great-great-grandson of the hero of Gettysburg?
Named after one of the Gettys, I suppose. Wonderful town.
The greatest speech that was ever spoke was spoke in Gettysburg by the greatest president of them all, Jefferson Davis.
No, Granny, that was Abraham Lincoln.
That's 2 boners in a row for you.
Now, Granny, don't get riled.
Well, he better watch his Yankee tongue in front of a Crockett.
Well, I believe I'll be running along.
Wait a minute, I'll go with you.
Thanks for the victuals, and nice seeing you.
Me too. Robert, my boy, I wonder if you realize how much Ellie Mae Clampett loves you.
She does?
Yes, she wrote a poem about you. Listen to this. Robert, dear Robert, you're easy to love. Strength of an eagle, heart of a dove. Trembling I wait the bird of your quest, hoping that soon will feather our nest.
Ellie wrote that?
I saw her type it with her own wealthy little finger.
How about that?
Now, take my advice. Go to the bank, get Ellie, drive to Las Vegas, and get married right away.
Oh, I can't do that.
Why not?
Well, because I've got my old clothes on, and I'm short of money.
Money? What's money to a Getty? Here, my boy, spend it in good health.
Wow.
Oh, come on. I'll drive to the bank with you. I don't want anything to go wrong.
I'll buy that.
Now, Miss Hathaway, congratulate me. I brought off the merger of the Getty and the Clampett fortunes. Now come in inside and take a letter to the Federal Reserve Bank. I want to tell them that if they run short, they can call on me.
Well, I must admit, Chief, that was quite a financial coup, but oh, no, not again. You are not going to take advantage of that poor little animal any longer. Come on, baby.
Who needs him? I can afford a regular window washer now.
How did you manage to pull off that merger so quickly?
Action. I grabbed Ellie Mae out of the secretarial pool, put her in the car with young Getty, and told him to take off for Vegas.
Mr. Robert, if this here's another driving lesson, hadn't I ought to be sitting where you are?
Well, this isn't a driving lesson, Ellie Mae. We're heading for Las Vegas
Well, fair.
to get married.
You and me?
Who else?
I can't marry you. You belong to Miss Jane.
Oh, not anymore. Not since you wrote me that beautiful poetic proposal.
What are you talking about?
Well, you know, the poem that ends, trembling I wait, the bird of your quest, hoping that soon we'll feather our nest.
Mr. Robert, I didn't write that poem to you. Miss Jane wrote it.
You're kidding.
No, sir. Now, you take me back to the bank straight off, because Miss Jane's waiting for you.
Oh, boy. Hey, would you like to drive?
Well, is it all right?
Yeah. Maybe we won't make it.
Howdy, Miss Jane.
Well, greetings, Mr. Clampett. And how nice to see you again, Jethro.
Should have seen him before I had him barbered.
Hey, Miss Jane, you got anything to eat around here?
Well, I think the chief has some mints in his office.
I'll eat anything but grits.
Where's Ellie Mae?
Well, didn't you know? She's on her way to Las Vegas to marry the nephew of J. Paul Getty.
Where'd he come from?
Oh, search me. I've never met him.
Granny's kind of counting on Ellie marrying the Crockett boy.
Crockett?
Yeah, direct descendant of Davy himself.
Well, I've never met him either.
Oh, Mr. Clampett. How nice to see you.
Nice to see you. I hope you don't mind Jethro eating your mints.
Oh, that doesn't bother me, but if he'd only unwrap them first.
Looks like the boy is due for another stomachache.
Here's your fella, Miss Jane.
What do you mean, her fella? Mr. Getty is your fella.
Why, he's not Mr. Getty. He's Robert Audubon.
No, he ain't. This here's the Crockett boy.
How many names you got, Mr. Robert?
Oh, at least a half a dozen more that you've never heard.
Listen, you swindler. If you're not a Getty, let me have my money back.
Well, here's part of it. I had to put up the rest for repairs to Miss Hathaway's car.
What? Yes, ma'am. I'm awful sorry, but a fella come straight through a green light and smacked into us.
Young fella, if your name ain't Getty, Audubon, or Crockett, what is it?
Well, I'll level with you, Mr. Clampett. My real name is Dick Bremerkamp, and I'm an out-of-work actor.
Not anymore, you're not.
You mean it?
You better believe I mean it. You come with me.
Presentation.